Alright, against odds time, we are playing a Kiora deck here in Standard. Ooh, dig. Alright, Lumbering Falls, ship the turn. Opponent goes with Mountain and Dragon Fodder. Alright, let's just go Island into Rattleclaw Mystic face up. And that lets us play a 4-drop next turn. Fiery Impulse takes down our Rattleclaw. Whirler Rogue's going to be pretty sweet against all these Goblin tokens, though. Whisper of the Wilds. Yeah, I guess we'll just play the Plains. Make our BFZ duels come into play untapped. I think we're not going to block here. Well, I guess we can. We're to 4 mana anyway. If they want to use an Atarka's command to kill Whisper of the Wilds, I guess that's actually pretty good for us. They're going to Titan Strength the token that's unblocked. Do we die if we just play Willbreaker? No, I think we still have to go with Whirler Rogue first. And then we can potentially play Willbreaker next turn. Forest is the exiled card. Opponent only has 2 cards in hand. I guess we're playing the Willbreaker. Run it out there. Our opponent's got to kill it or we just start stealing their stuff. Roast is going to steal our Willbreaker, or kill our Willbreaker. Well, in response, we can make this Abbot unblockable by tapping our Thopters. So we gain control of it, which means it can't attack this turn. So that's fine. But then it'll immediately go back to our opponent once they kill it. Well, I think we're going to block here. If they can Atarka's command, we still kill a token. It's bad for us, but not the end of the world. We'd rather have it out of their hand when the Abbot can't attack. Well, they're just going to become immense? Ooh, do they have the combo kill? Well, it wouldn't be a combo kill, but it would put us pretty low on life. Well, they do have it, so we're going to drop to 2 life. But our opponent is empty-handed. Another Whirler Rogue. Well, probably the safest play here is just to play another Whirler Rogue, and I guess we can get in for 1 damage, and just plan on blocking. Hordling Outburst doesn't do it. They're going to attack? Interesting. Well, let's block, and block, I guess. Now we're actually going to be able to dig with that Whirler Rogue dying. We can crack our Flooded Strand, go to 1, get a can't. Oh my gosh. That was a mistake. I need to get a blue source there. I think we just play face down Rattleclaw and pass the turn. Plan on blocking again, hopefully. Abbot, come on, no Atarka's command. Ire Shaman. Alright. That's a redraw for them next turn. Alright, dig time. So we didn't get punished too hard for me searching out the wrong land. Yeah. So, Whirler Rogue, Kiora, probably the picks. I think that's the best we can do right now. That is a lot of 4-drops, though. I guess we just hope we live by playing Kiora. Then we can tap our Whisperer, untap, and play another Whirler Rogue. So basically we're just hoping we survive this turn and they don't hit a burn spell. Ire Shaman exiles. Alright, a Mountain. Mountain is not what kills us. Ooh. Alright, so we need to block, 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 block. So Temur Battle Rage on either of these creatures doesn't kill us. Yeah, I think that's the way to do it. I think this guarantees we stay alive if our opponent has the Temur Battle Rage, which I'm pretty sure was their draw. I don't know what else would make them tank so hard. Alright, bunch of stuff dies. They do not use the Battle Rage. Another Kiora. Well, let's take down Kiora now. We can reveal, look at the top 4, get a creature or a land. So I guess that's fine. So I guess we play Willbreaker. We play Windswept Teeth, even though we can't crack it, and just pass the turn, leave everyone back. And our opponent has to pass. Well, now we will tap our lands, play Citadel Siege. We're going to put it on the pump up mode, which is cons mode. Then we're going to use this Kiora to untap this Goblin and the land. And then we get to steal the Goblin with Willbreaker. That's the combo, Kiora and Willbreaker. And we get our land untapped. Now we get to put some counters on our Will Breaker. Gonna make it really hard for our opponent to kill it. Attack with our Will Breaker. Play Windswept Teeth. Basically, we just gotta live maybe 1 or 2 more turns without them drawing a Tarka's command. Is the main worry. Our opponent might also be afraid that we have a burn spell. Alright, dash. Oh no! 1, 2, 3. I think we can stay alive by... No, we can't. Oh, the one draw that can beat us. They can pump 3 times and then play the Battle Rage. Oh no! Really? That's odd. Well, we get to dig, but I don't think we have anything that answers this situation. Nope. Oh, we were so close. Well, we can bring in Feed the Clan, and Dragon Lord Dramoka is pretty excellent. I guess we could bring in Dispels, maybe? Take out Icy Blast. Take out the Glints. Take out, I guess, a Will Breaker. I think that's our best bet. Alright, game 2, against odds. Kiora, Will Breaker stuff. Alright, we'll give this a go. Just polluted Delta so we can search out a basic land. Swift Spear for our opponent. Search out a forest. Whisper of the Wilds. So if that lives, we can go Whirler Rogue into Ojutai, and that's a pretty big game. Another mountain. And Dragon Fodder. Alright, well, it is going to live, so that's the good news. Which means we are on course to get our Whirler Rogue down. Yeah, we got to play Island, I guess. And Whirler Rogue. Gives us some blockers. Next turn, we get to choose between Ojutai or the Will Breaker to steal something. Which probably going to be Ojutai, because Will Breaker is not a guarantee here. Since we're probably going to lose some Thopter tokens blocking. Let's block, block, block. This way we get rid of those tokens even through an Atarka's command. Yep. So we take some damages, but we kill the tokens. Down to 9. Ojutai or Whirler Rogue, which is better in this situation? Alright, let's just play another Whirler Rogue, I guess. Gives us many blockers. Could really use a Feed the Clan, would be pretty excellent. Alright, Abbott's not the most threatening here. Yup. Alright, there's a Zergo. No attacks. Play the Will Breaker. This is actually, in a really weird way, protection against the combo. Because if they would have to kill a creature first, or we can just steal whatever creature they give Trample and Double Strike to. So they have to kill the Will Breaker before they combo off. Basically, Will Breaker's basically Spellskite in this situation. And I'm not even kidding. It really acts much the same way in this board layout. Oh, they can steal it. Now do we want to steal... We can tap 2 Thopters to like steal the Abbot so it can't attack. And we would like block. Block. Yeah, I think that's fine. So we gain control Abbot. Lose control Abbot. Lose our Will Breaker. Now we block Zergo. Block Swift Spear. Yeah, so block Zergo. Block Swift Spear. We're going to lose our Whisper of the Wilds, which isn't great. And there's Atarka's command for the blowouts. Putting us down to 5 and keeping all the creatures alive. Now we play Canopy Vista, play Dragon Lord Ojutai, hope we survive the turn. Thing is, our opponent hasn't been playing lands, so it's likely they have 3 spells in hand. Outpost Siege? Really? That's the play? Okay. Well, that changes things. Now I feel much better about where we're at. I'm not even sure our opponent can attack. How much mana are we going to... 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll only have 3 mana left over next turn. Risky plan, but I think we got to do it this way. I think this is our best bet over the long term. Oh, they put it on ping mode. We get our Dragon Lord Ojutai attack. Will Breaker. Alright, let's get in there with Ojutai. Hopefully we hit a Feed the Clan. There it is. Feed the Clan. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Play this Kiora. We get to untap Ojutai, untap a land. And then right now we're just going to Feed the Clan and get out of the danger zone. Exquisite Firecraft, eh? Interesting. They're probably going to kill our Dragon Lord, but I think we have to block anyway. I don't think we can not block here. Yep, Titan Strength. Down to 6. Our opponent's only got 1 card in hand. Yeah, well, I guess we got to tick down Kiora. Get a Rattleclaw and a Windswept Teeth. A lot of card advantage. Face up Rattleclaw. Willbreaker. Pass the turn, hope for the best. They can't really just play random dudes on the board. Swift Spear is not a random dude. It's a hasty dude. Oh, we certainly block. Oh, watch him have ping us and then another Exquisite Firecraft. That would be a depressing way for this to end. But I think that's about what is about to happen. Yup. Oh, so close. Against odds time, Kiora in standard. Might be too slow. Jace is bad. That helps. Whisper really helps. Flooded Strand. Gonna get our basics first, so we can search out our BFC duels untapped. Alright, Seeker of the Way. At least it's not a Jace. Forest into Whisper of the Wilds. Be nice if it lived, but probably unlikely. Another Seeker of the Way. Do they have a burn spell to back it up? They do. So they hit us for 3, gain 3. We do nothing next turn, unfortunately. Whirler Rogue. Alright, Windswept Teeth, pass. Whirler Rogue will be a good, hopefully, be good next turn. Although Ojutai's command could get it. There's Mantis Rider. Boo. Alright, sack this Windswept Teeth. Get a Prairie Stream. Down to 8. Canopy Vista, Whirler Rogue. Hope our opponent's out of action. Pass the turn. Smoldering Marsh. Crackling Doom would also be pretty bad. Ugh, of course. They have the second Fiery Impulse. Not good. So now we just have to double chump, as bad as that feels. Drop to 5. Play another Whirler Rogue. Prairie Stream. Pass the turn. We're in rough shape. Painful Truce. Quite a very aggressive draw for our opponent. Tap land. Well, that's all we can do, but it's not going to be good enough. And Lumbering Falls. Alright. Super aggressive draw for that deck. So, coming in, I think we want another Silk Wrap. That might be all. Take out a Willbreaker since our opponent has so much burn. Actually, we can take out this Icy Blast for a Dispel or a Negate. Let's go with the third Negate. Alright, we're on the play this time. And this hand's not bad. If we get to Dragonlord Dramoka, that's pretty big game. Pluto Delta for our opponent. Face up Rattleclaw. So now they need to kill this or we get to play Kiora next turn. And that's really big game. We'd have Kiora on turn 3 into Dragonlord Dramoka on turn 4. Not many decks are beating that. Jace. Well, that's pretty sweet. We get to play this Canopy Vista. Play Kiora, untap, and then Silk Wrap the Jace. That was about the best turn you could imagine. And we are on course for the turn 4 Dragonlord Dramoka. And then they'll need a Crackling Doom to beat it. Mantis Rider. They go after Kiora? Yep. Alright, let's Windswept Teeth. Thin our deck a bit. Get a Prairie Stream. Do some untapping. And Dragonlord Dramoka. Well, that's quite the draw. Do they have untap land into Crackling Doom? Looks like they very well might. They had the land, and they have Crackling Doom. Well, our opponent's drawing the answers. We're going to need to draw some action. Going to hit Kiora. Silk Wrap is not nothing. We get rid of Mantis Rider. Get in with Rattleclaw. Play Prairie Stream, and pass the turn. Alright, Fiery Impulse. And what's the follow-up? Dig? Or Cruise? Treasure Cruise. Opponent refills their hand a bit. Well, this isn't really the time to draw a will breaker. We don't have anything that combos with it at the moment. Monastery Mentor. Play the Canopy Vista. Pass the turn. Well, after a good start, we have drawn much nothing. And our opponent has the second Crackling Doom. Well, that's disappointing. Whisper of the Wilds. Hooray. Yeah, it isn't looking too good here. I don't even think this is a bad matchup. Our opponent's just really outrunning us severely. I mean, we had a good start with the quick Dragonlord Dramoka, but they dealt with that, and we just haven't drawn anything since then. Just whiff, whiff, whiff. And our opponent's drawn like 6 cards, and that does it. Alright, against the odds, Kiora in Standard. It's a lot of lands, but we do have the Kiora. And now Dress. Alright, opponent fetches a swamp, passes. Well, Ojutai's something. Eventually. Black-green. And Leap. Ooh, interesting. Let's get a island. Rattleclaw face up. I wonder if they're playing the Leap deck we played on Budget Magic a little while ago. Doesn't look like it. Catacomb Sifter. Think we got to go with Whirler Rogue here. Let's get a Prairie Stream. If we play Kiora, it's just going to get beaten down. But Whirler Rogue helps keep it alive. And then we can potentially play Ojutai next turn, and then Kiora the following turn. Opponent goes attacking. Well, we will do some blocking. If they want to use a removal spell, that's fine. We don't want them scrying either, especially. Another Catacomb Sifter. Well, let's Windswept Heath, search out a Canopy Vista, and then we're just going to run Ojutai out there. Pretty powerful. Even more powerful once we play Kiora next turn. Should be hard for our opponent to deal with. Jeez, so many Catacomb Sifters. Alright. Well, we get an Ojutai attack, which is sweet. Ojutai, get to anticipate. We do not want another Ojutai. Guess we just take the dig, and then we can play Kiora, and we're actually going to be able to dig too. Kiora, untap Ojutai and Prairie Stream, play Flooded Strand, and yeah. Well, now I think we're in really good shape because we can actually dig through time too. What does our opponent have? Interesting. Active Treason to steal Rattleclaw. Well, in response, we need to search out a Prairie Stream and dig through time because we need the mana from Rattleclaw. And we can take what? Definitely taking Silk Wrap to kill something. I think we'll just take Negate. Man, that was an all-action pile. Not a single land to be seen. So they're gonna take our Rattleclaw. They can swing, and then they're gonna be able to sack our Rattleclaw to Scry and Evolutionary Leap. Pretty sweet combo. Opponent's gonna do some attacking at our Kiora. Well, we block Sifter, and one of the tokens, and our Kiora goes to 1. We don't really want our Kiora to die, so I think it's worth blocking this way. But then starting next turn, we can leave up Negate, which is helpful. Yep, they get another Scry. Found what they wanted. Leave it on top and hit a Hangerback. Alright. Hangerback's solid. But we get to attack with our Dragonlord Ojutai. Anticipate. Oh, Dramoka. Well, we're taking Dramoka, but I think we're going to wait a turn to play it. Because I don't really want to have it just die to a removal spell, so we could leave Negate up in the future. So I think instead, cast a Whirler Rogue and leave up Negate. And of course, untap our Ojutai in a land. Feeling pretty good about it. I think we got this one pretty much locked up. And yep, opponent scoops it up. Sweet, we got a win. Now we just got to finish off this match. So, I don't know. I guess we can bring in the Silk Wrap and maybe Planner Outburst. Get rid of Stasis Snare and go down to Negate. I really want to Icy Blast with a Will Breaker on the battlefield to just steal everything. Sounds so cool. Alright, game 2. Opponent gets to be on the play. Yeah. Gotta ship that. Well, that will keep, but I think we're gonna bottom it and hope we find a real land. Ooh, vampiric rites. So this is like the event deck version, sort of aristocrats-ish. This might be our upgraded version. I'm not sure. Not 100% sure. So Windswept Heath is going to get us a forest? Alright, we're going to get plains. I think we have to cast this Whisper this turn. I don't think we can just get a tap land and pass. Alright. Lumbering Falls. So yeah, I think we just play Lumbering Falls and pass again. Like I said, we can't really cast the Silk Wrap because they would just Vampiric Rites, which they did anyway, but... Act of Treason. Alright, we can't do anything about it, unfortunately. Now we can't play Whirler Rogue. I'm guessing our opponent's going to sack it to the Vampiric Rites. Must be the plan. That is annoying. I will admit that much. Well, Dragonlord Dramoka is a little ways away. So we just got to ship the turn back again. Next turn, we really will get to play Whirler Rogue. Eyeless Watcher. It's a lot of sacrifice fuel. Silk Wrap. Well, I think we're still just going with Whirler Rogue here. Make some blockers. You're going to steal our Whirler Rogue. Arc Lightning. Alright. Well, we are going to need to draw lands. Well, I guess we block a Scion. Wow. Alright. They really wanted to draw that card. Come on, land. Not a land. Alright, I guess we just ship the turn. Oh, God. We really needed that, a land. Ooh, Catacomb Sifter. Also pretty bad. No attacks. And a leap. Our opponent has a pretty nice board of enchantments. Well, guess we gotta Silk Wrap this Catacomb Sifter. And then I guess just pass? This is not working out. We've drawn a lot of cards we can't cast. Another Catacomb Sifter. Opponent's getting a pretty full board. Carrier Thrall, a very full board. Again, no attacks. Again, no land. Oh my god. Well, I guess we Silk Wrap again. Go after the Catacomb Sifter. They can sack it to leap, but we want to get it off the battlefield so they can't just scry and do all that stuff. Man, they were going to draw a ton of lands in a row. Well, if we don't draw lands, we're just going to lose, basically. Can't do anything about that. Alright, fair enough. Ooh. Oh, that's hilarious. So I guess they're planning on getting to Ulamog eventually. Mulligan. Let's just Polluted Delta here. I don't even think we crack it. We want to draw land. Alright, now we will play Canopy Vista. That was good. We found a land at least. Pretty much want to get to this dig through time. Evolutionary Leap. Alright, play Lumbering Falls. We're slowly working our way towards that leap. They do. Well, good news is we get to Silk Wrap it. Now we're going to crack this, get an island. Prairie Stream. So we'll just play island. Silk Wrap to get rid of the Catacomb Sifter. Technically, next turn we can Willbreaker. Another Catacomb Sifter. Our opponent has had a lot of Catacomb Sifters. It might just be better to sit on Lumbering Falls so our opponent can't really attack. I think that's better than playing Willbreaker right now. We haven't seen any signs of Merciless Executioner, and we actually saw quite a few cards from their Evolutionary Leaps. Alright, well we are certainly firing up Lumbering Falls. If you have an answer, good for you. Get rid of the Catacomb Sifter, hopefully. Alright, they just sack it to leap, get a Hanger back, and another Catacomb Sifter. Wouldn't be bad to find a Wrath. Alright, let's go with Face Down Rattleclaw. Prairie Stream, pass the turn. Alright, they go with Arc Lightning, puts us to 15. Does some more attacking. We really need that Wrath. Hits us for 5, down to 10. Yep. Whisper of the Wilds. Well, we just gotta pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We gotta take it. Can't even block with our Lumbering Falls. Bad news. And what's the follow-up? Hangerback X2. Alright, dig time. Yeah, we've kind of got wrecked by mulligans in games 2 and 3. Well, what are our options? Nothing great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. We can take the Whirler Rogue, I guess. Is at least a creature? Yeah, I guess we gotta take the land. Oh my god. That was another pretty big whiff. We're probably just dead here, actually. Silk Wrap. I guess we cast the Silk Wrap. Go after the... Let's go after Catacomb Sifter. Whirler Rogue, Whisper, and hope we live. Active Treason, targeting Whirler Rogue. Block, 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 block. Yeah, we're dead, I think. We'll let it go. We're basically just chumping. We got a block, block, and block. I don't know what possibly gets us out of this. We drop to 1. Empty board. Sacks our Whirler Rogue. Gets a Blister Pod. Whirler Rogue. Well, technically this might be able to keep us alive. If our opponent has nothing. Whirler Rogue. Because we're going to... if our opponent has nothing, we'll have 4 blockers. And we'll be able to tap after we declare blockers to steal something with Willbreaker, which technically could keep us alive. But obviously a removal spell kills us. Burn spell kills us. And there's a removal spell. Oh, well, we are not running very well. Alright. Looks keepable. Canopy Vista. And we'll just lead on Lumbering Falls. Sunken Hollow. This is something with a lot of colors. Icy Blast. Alright, let's get a Plains, play Rattleclaw. Ship the turn. Heir of the Wilds. Might just have to Silk Wrap that. Actually, let's Flooded Strand. Get a Plains. And I think we just Citadel Siege on cons. Start putting counters on things. And then we can follow it up with that Whirler Rogue. And that's pretty big game. So Rattleclaw up to a 4-3 with the counters. No attacks. Ooh, and the Willbreaker. Yeah, let's just play this Whirler Rogue. Does our opponent have a counter? No counter. Whirler Rogue resolves. Play the Lumbering Falls. Now we can start putting counters on our Whirler Rogue. Team's getting big. And then next turn we can Willbreaker, steal Heir of the Wilds, and beat down. Most likely, for like 10. We are being helped by the fact our opponent is not drawing lands. And concedes the match. Well, alright, that was easy. Alright, against odds. Kiora in Standard. Kind of short of land here. Hopefully we draw one for this Rattleclaw. Ugh, another Rattleclaw. Alright, come on, Forest. That would make my day. Although any land's alright, because we can start morphing them. If our opponent's on... Oh. Well, probably not a Tarka Red. Maybe Mardu? Or Grixis? Alright, we'll just play this Canopy Vista. Pass the turn. Or I guess it could be Jeskai Black. Or... who knows? Who knows in Standard these days? Alright, let's just play Face Up Rattleclaw. Draconic Roar. Alright. Another land for our opponent. And passes. Well, we kind of got fortunate to draw these lands. So we're just going to Whirler Rogue here. Feel like we're in decent shape. Still don't really have any idea what we're up against, but something with a lot of Draconic Roars. That's not that bad, though, because it's going to fuel our dig eventually. Another Whirler Rogue. Well, we are just Whirler Rogue aggro. Alright, Thopters attack. Whirler Rogue. Number 2. We get really blown out by a Radiant Flames. But so far, our opponent's just gotten a bunch of lands. All of them tap lands. A Blood Moon would be so good. Sarkhan. Sarkhan's not even very good here, actually. Takes down our Whirler Rogue. Well, we're killing Sarkhan. That much I know. Sending the rest of our... Well, let's send 2 at Sarkhan. Yeah, 2 at Sarkhan, 2 at our opponent. Just in case he had a murderous cut. And then we will go with... Face down, Rattleclaw, and this Whisper of the Wilds. I have no idea what our opponent's trying to do over there. And Ruinous Path awakens a swamp. Well, I guess we go back to attacking. Hit our opponent. Down to 8. Windswept Teeth. Whirler Rogue. Again. 3rd Whirler Rogue. And then we can potentially dig at our opponent's end of turn. And scoops it up. Still don't really have any idea what they're trying to do. They just played lands, and passed. I think we're going to take out Silk Wraps, bring in Negate. Orbs would be interesting. Disdainful Stroke? Alright, game 2. Against odds. This is fine, I guess. Ooh, Kiora. That's pretty sweet. Canopy Vista. Island into Whisper of the Wilds. And then if that lives, we potentially get to Kiora next turn. Kiora into Rattleclaw, probably. And then Ochitai. And then GG. What does our opponent have? Pump Fakes. Oh, good old Draconic Roar. We have yet to see them reveal a dragon to Draconic Roar. Yeah, we'll just play Island, play Face Down Rattleclaw, ship the turn. Painful Truce, X2? Would have thought they would like to X3 there. Ooh, Tasigur? Tasigur. So what can we do now? Unmorph our Rattleclaw, play Whirler Rogue, Windswept Teeth, and just pass the turn. Probably should have tapped differently so we didn't have to tap Rattleclaw, but it really doesn't matter because we're not going to block with it anyway, basically under any circumstances. Obnixilis. Draws a card. No attacks. Yeah, let's just pass. Another island. Let's just go Kiora. Tick down Kiora. Get a Whirler Rogue. The rest of the cards go to our graveyard. Then we can hit... I think we're just going to hit Obnixilis for 1. And then while our opponent is tapped out, we're going to dig through time. See what we find in our top 7. Well, I think we want... Dragonlord Dramoka seems sweet, but it's actually not too good because it'll just die to Obnixilis. And let's... yeah. So I think we want Citadel Siege. Do we want Lumbering Falls? I think Lumbering Falls is fine. It works really well with Citadel Siege. And pass the turn. Citadel Siege is pretty sweet with Whirler Rogue too, since we can put counters on something and then make it unblockable. What's the play? Dragonlord Slumgar. Interesting. Alright, they take the Kiora, tick it down, get Ash Cloud and Mountain, dump a couple fiery impulses. No attacks. Whisper of the Wilds. So let's just play Citadel Siege. We're going to put it on cons, I believe, to start pumping things up. Play this Whisper of the Wilds. Play the Lumbering Falls. And then, what are we putting counters on? I guess we can put them on Whirler Rogue is probably the best. Counter up Whirler Rogue. Then we can attack our opponent, I think. Actually, no, we got to attack Obnixilis, I think. Or it'll just kill Whirler Rogue. Now we can make Whirler Rogue unblockable by tapping our Thopters. Takes up the Obnixilis. I think our Citadel Siege is going to take over this game, though. We will block Tasigur, I think. No attacks from Tasigur. Languish. Alright. That is annoying. Well, that's one of the things we were worried about. Ooh, Stasis Snare. I think we just go with another Whirler Rogue here. Start rebuilding our board. Draconic Roar takes it down. Get to start putting counters on our Thopters. Opponent still has 6 cards though, which is a lot of cards. They're going to get to start activating Tasigur as well. Draws a card. They're down to 9. Not that much life. But we're down to 12. Attacks with both. We're going to block the Tasigur. Pia and Karen Nalar. And what, kill our Thopter? Yep, Ruinous Path our Thopter. Well, we're basically dead now. Kiora doesn't help. Alright. Alright, well at least we know what our opponent's doing now. So we know what we want to sideboard in. Which is probably a couple Planner Outbursts, honestly. And probably out a couple Will Breakers, because they're just going to die so easily. And just run it like that, I believe. Alright, game 3. Let's see if we can win this match. Not an exciting opening hand. Windswept Teeth, pass the turn. I think we would much rather have Dragonlord Ojutai in this matchup than Dragonlord Dramoka. Canopy Vista. Alright, let's Plains, get a Forest, play Whisper of the Wilds. If we can somehow get down a fast Dragonlord Dramoka and have Negate up, then we might suddenly be in good shape. Pluto Delta. I think we gotta play Face Up Rattleclaw here. Actually, let's play Flooded Strand. Face Up Rattleclaw. Leave up Negate. In case our opponent goes for like Radiant Flames or something. Lumbering Falls. So do we slam this Dragonlord Dramoka? Then our opponent can kill it. I think we gotta try to wait until we can protect it with a Negate. So let's attack with Rattleclaw, play Lumbering Falls, and just pass the turn. Still leaving up Negate. Well, we're not going to negate that. Bloodstained Mire for our opponent, cracks it. Is this Pia and Karen Nalar? Thunderbreak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, let's crack this. Get a Prairie Stream. Play Canopy Vista, and play this Will Breaker. Still trying to be patient with our Dragonlord Dramoka. Painful Truce draws our opponent some cards. Draconic Roar takes it down. Gets in with the Thunderbreak. We draw a Forest. Alright. Well, we do what we gotta do. We play Canopy Vista. Activate Lumbering Falls. Attack with Lumbering Falls. Put our opponent to 9. We are shields down. Hopefully they don't resolve an Obnixilis here. Would probably be the worst card. Kolaghan, also pretty bad. Actually just deadly. Alright, that does it. So what did we learn this week? Obviously a truly dedicated Kiora deck. And by that I mean a deck that is, we're playing Will Breaker to try to steal creatures with Kiora. We are playing a overload of 2-mana Mana Dorks to synergize with Kiora. A deck that is really focused around Kiora. just isn't very good in standard. That shows up in our record. We won one match, sort of. Our one match win was because our opponent got stuck on lands and scooped the entire match in game one out of frustration. And then we won a couple games. I will say, the good news about this deck is it felt competitive. Like, it doesn't feel good enough to consistently win, but we were in a lot of the games. It wasn't like some against the odds where we just get totally so stomped and it feels like we're not even in the matches at all. But it felt like we were in a lot of these games and we could kind of play for quite a while with a lot of tier 1 decks before we eventually got beat by more efficient cards. So overall, I think the odds of winning with this build of Kiora is somewhere around 20%, which isn't great, about par for an against the odds build. But one thing I learned while making these videos, and making the bonus videos, which you can find in the article on mtggoldfish.com, is that Kiora is actually an extremely powerful card. Kiora is a backup singer, basically. We were trying to play Kiora in this deck as a lead singer, and everything was working around Kiora. But that's not what Kiora is. That's just not the kind of card she is. What she is amazing as is a backup singer who can generate a ton of value in a deck like a dragon control deck. In the bonus videos, you'll see she can do so much in a deck like that. She comes down on turn 4, can untap a Rattleclaw and a land to allow us to play a 2-mana removal spell. She obviously, as she did in our Against the Odds version, can untap Dragonlord Ojutai to keep Dragonlord Ojutai hexproof, and her -2 ability fills the graveyard for Dig, so we can sometimes start casting Dig through time on turn 4, which is just insane, and it just works so well. Like, it works really well as a value card in that deck. Obviously, you don't need Kiora in that deck. It's a dragon control deck. It's built around counter spells and Ojutai and removal. That's what the deck is. But I think Kiora is really good as a role player or backup singer in that kind of shell. So that's my overall takeaway for this week. Building a dedicated Kiora deck just isn't going to work. There's not the pieces in standard, and that's not who she is. This version of Kiora is not a centerpiece card. However, she is an excellent card as a secondary value-generating planeswalker in certain builds, and that's how I would look to use her moving forward. I certainly think that Kiora, the card, is very standard playable, but she isn't going to be a Jace the Mind Sculptor or a Karn Liberated in Tron, where it's the centerpiece and the reason to play a deck. She's going to be a role player that is very good in some situations, but she just isn't going to be the focal piece of a deck. She's not that kind of card. So I'm glad that I did this, even though we lost a lot, because I learned a lot about Kiora and what she isn't and what she is, and I'm excited to do more with her moving forward. So make sure to check out the bonus videos of the Dragon Control deck featuring Kiora. And make sure to check out the website. We don't have a poll this week because next week we're doing a special holiday edition of Against Odds, which hopefully will be pretty sweet. But you'll find decks, my articles, other people's articles, prices, the metagame strategy, pretty much everything and anything you could want related to Magic the Gathering. And if you enjoyed this video, or the bonus videos, which you can find in the article, make sure to click the subscribe button that's about to pop up on the bottom of the screen. It keeps you up to date on all the latest and greatest in video content from MTG Goldfish, and it's a big favor for us, so that would be great if you could take a second to do that. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the Kiora Against the Odds videos, and I will talk to you soon.